Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video here on our channel. I'm the FIFA Analyst, and today we are going to be talking to you about a formation on FIFA and explaining how it works and how to use it that doesn't get a lot of love. What we've been doing recently over on our Twitch streams, twitch.tv/FIFA Analyst, we do stream 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. is asking the chat, what tactics, what formations would you like me to make and test for you? And 4-3-3 false 9 was one of the recommended ones, the 4-3-3 bracket 5. So that's what we're going to talk to you about today. We're going to show you the tactics, show you how we have it set up, and exactly how to use it, how to get people involved. I think one of the reasons personally why the 4-3-3s, the whole of them, don't get a lot of love is purely I don't think people use the right wingers and the left wingers right. They can sit a little bit wide even when you have narrow width in your attack, and they just don't always get involved. But we're going to, explain how you can use it and how you guys can get it into your game as well. If you enjoyed this video, please do let me know by leaving a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. We recently hit 150k, so thank you all very much for that. Let's go ahead and jump into the custom tactics and instructions. So I'm actually going to show you the tactics and the instructions early on, because if people just want that and they don't want to know how to use it, fine. That's your choice. I'm going to show you them. This is the team that we're using. Petr Cech in goal, Dante and Kimpembe at the back, Reece James, Hernandez in fullback. I use Mahrez as my right winger. I use Kante as my holding centre defensive mid, Beckham and Nkunku in the middle, Insigne left wing, and then actually Banza as my false 9. And I actually think these work rates play a big part in this 4-3-3 false 9 setup. So those are the tactics. First of all, if you don't care about how to use the formation and how it actually works, go and pick it up. Come back to me in a week's time when you go, I can't use it. I don't know why it doesn't work. And you didn't watch the rest of the video, did you? Yeah, see, smart. Pressure on heavy touch. I originally had balance, and I feel like balance is very, very effective in the 4-3-3 false 9. I just wanted to give myself a bit more of a pressing ability, and I'll show you how that works in some clips in a short little while. But 48 width and 55 depth on the defensive side of things. Not running a particularly high line, not running a particularly low line, a very neutral kind of setup. The 4-3-3 false 9 for me, the way I have it played out, is for me to be the dominant player, for me to be very possession heavy. I want to be averaging 60+% possession in this kind of setup that we have, and that's how we're going to play it. And again, I'll show you in a short while. Build-up play I do have unbalanced. However, again, I started off with balanced. I then tried direct passing and found that possession was just working better. Possession is where the players come short to you. If they want to go on a run, you tap the L1 button. But that's, again, where work rates, which I'll go into in just a second, will play a major, major part for you. 49 width, nothing special in there. And then we go for the 6 players in box. 1 on corners, 1 on free kicks to utilize the corner technique that works. So the player instructions to start off, you can do sweeper keeper comes for crosses if your keeper suits that. Petr Cech definitely does not, so I don't do that. Now we do actually go on our fullbacks completely balanced. I feel like this is crucial in the 4-3-3. Yes, you leave yourself open to the counter, and we'll show you how to defend in a short while, but balanced helps you get this formation really ticking over. Having them show on the outside, show on the inside next to your winger in attack is very crucial. The centre defensive mid, which is Kante, you need a defensive mid here, by the way. Someone that literally is just going to stay back and defend for you. Cut passing lane, stay back while attacking, cover centre. The left centre mid and the right centre mid, we have on completely balanced. Do not touch them. Same for the striker. Do not touch them. Same for the wingers. Do not touch them. Whoa, mind blown. Let me talk to you about work rates and what you want from your players in this, kind of positions. So in the centre defensive mid role, ideally, medium-high work rates works best for someone like Kante. I know he's high, but that's why we have the stay back while attacking instruction to kind of override that attacking instruction. We need the defensive mid to be medium-high if you can do, but Kante will do the job should you wish to, okay? Now, the wing-backs, if you can have them on high-medium or high-high, you're going to be in a pretty good position. High-medium is what you're going to find with most fullbacks. That's kind of the go-to for a lot of fullbacks on FIFA 22. Medium-high, not so much. We don't want that because we want our fullbacks to get involved. It is going to mean that they're going to be caught out of position a little bit with those attacking work rates, but we want them to get forward. We want them to go ahead and get involved. So as you can see, that's what we have there on the fullbacks. Now, the 2 centre mids, ideally, if you can, Go with high, medium, and high. That will work well for you. Unfortunately, Nkunku is medium work rates. I'd prefer him to be high medium here to get him involved going forward a little bit more, but that is what it is with him. Beckham is high. We want him to get forward. We want him to get back. Think of a box-to-box centre mid, like literally, yeah, Beckham's obviously who I use, but you're thinking like a Goretzka, a Marcus Llorente, someone like that. Beckham has 86 attacking positioning, so he will get forward. Obviously, his defensive awareness is a little bit low, but that's kind of not what his main aim is. But definitely a kind of box-to-box midfielder. Stamina has to be high in these players. So I have 91 stamina on Beckham, and he fills that role very well. 86 on Nkunku as well. Excuse me. If you're running someone on low stamina, you know, so it's like mid-70s, early 80s, they probably will need to be substituted out to have a centre mid on the bench. Now, when we're talking about strikers, Banza suits this false nine role, honestly, as good as I could want him to. With the high-low work rates, he stays in attack and he drifts in between the defensive line and the midfielders. He doesn't drop back, and I don't want him to do that. The false nine position is almost like a centre attacking mid in the 4-2-3-1. He's never really touched tight to the defenders and running behind the line. He's just in between, which for someone whose physical stats are like this, I'm actually okay with. Because when the defenders come to press him, he can hold them off. Yes, his passing's a little bit weak, but he can then release the ball. Now, for our left mid and right mid, it's kind of one of them, to be honest with you. If they are high, it'll be okay. If they're medium, it'll be okay. But ideally, high-medium is what you want here, again, with someone like Insigne, because we want them running the channels, literally just running in behind out on that wing position, okay? So those are kind of the key facts that help this team, you know, help this formation kind of work and tick over. What we're going to go do now is go jump into some examples on how to use it in-game and how to introduce it into your playstyle. So our first example that we're going to take a look at is where we pick up the ball and then we look to hit, you know, kind of on the defensive line and penetrate in behind. We have got a runner here with Insigne where we tap the L1 button and we go for that over the top through ball. Unfortunately, it doesn't come off with Beckham on that left-hand side on his weak foot. But now let's take a look at this. So the reason why this 4-3-3 will work very well defensively for you is that you have your three centre mids. You've got your centre defensive mid and you've got your left centre mid and your right centre mid. Be sure to manually use these guys. So Beckham on this side of the pitch for me, and then Nkunku on this side, and drag them back, and they're going to help cover this wing sort of area. Your wingers will be able to come back and help on the odd occasion, but you can use those centre mids in that sort of way. Now, we spot that driven through ball as being a bit of danger, but look how crucial this Kante is to this. And him playing in that lone centre defensive mid role will really help. So we're applying pressure with our Nkunku. Kante is sat in that little position in between those two centre backs to help trap back, which is exactly what he does. We use the second man press and then we win the ball back. Really, really effective in the defensive zone in the 4-3-3. Into our next example now then, and we're going to take a look at how when we go on the attack here, what our centre forward does, which is our Banza. So Mahrez goes to hit the ball up and Nkunku gets a tackle in. That press on heavy touch coming in effective there. And look at how this lines up, right? Take a look at where Banza is, our centre forward. Now we distribute the ball out to the wing by tapping the L1 button, the LB button to trigger Mahrez on a run, right? This is going to tell Mahrez, get in behind and run in that area. He's on balanced everything, remember? So if we do want him to get on those runs at a time, we need to trigger it. Because we have the possession tactic on, players have a tendency to want to show short. You know, that's how they want to attack. If you want them to get in behind, make sure you use that L1 button. But take a look at Banza here. Remember what I said? He doesn't sit directly on the defensive line. He sits kind of in between, which can work really well because you can actually find the pass into him a little bit more frequently. And also, he will then make a later run onto the defensive line, which gives the opponent something else to think about when they're sat deeper. They have to try and cover that, which is exactly what happens here, right? He's worried about that late defensive run, which gives Mahrez the chance to come through and then go in for that finesse shot. Now, I mess up this finesse shot. This is my fault. It's a really good angle, but that is how the 4-3-3 false 9 is going to work so well for us, looking for those finesse shots, and I'll talk about that in some more clips as well for us. It gets us into a great area, all purely from that false 9 run. So moving on to our next example now, we go out wide to start off with Mahrez charging forward. As we lay the ball back, we send him on a run with that L1 button, again getting him to go forward. And Nkunku shows for us in the middle, makes a turn. I can now go into the striker, the false 9 player, and then out to the wing. This is a really effective triangle in the 4-3-3 false 9, which can work really well for you. And what I mean by that is that, well, it originally started with Mahrez. Mahrez is making that run forward. Nkunku's going to lay this original pass, and then we're going to look to lay that ball directly out towards our right wing. Once we do that, we have two options. We can actually drive the byline and maybe look for the cross, or we can go for that lovely finesse shot again from this angle, which if I time this works well, but again, I don't time it right, unfortunately. But that is how the 4-3-3 false 9 in attack can come together really, really well. One of the reasons why I like the 4-3-3 false 9 with press on heavy touch is that it actually can be a great pressing formation. The way your wingers sit when you lose the ball means that you can press their fullbacks really well. Should they get the ball into the middle, it's actually a suitable zone for you because you have three players there. Your right centre mid, your left centre mid, and your centre defensive mid. If they manage to get the ball to the winger, then you've got to use your fullback to press, and you don't want to be too aggressive there, so it is a little bit different. The ball comes into the middle to Neymar, and Beckham now, with that press on heavy touch, combined with second man press, where we hold the R1 button, RB on Xbox, we press then, and we manage to win the ball back. We can then go for that pass straight into the striker. I tried to use the Insigne as bait. I was thinking, oh, you know, he's going to expect me to go up to there. I probably should have just laid that off. Instead, I tried to go for the shot with Banza. But that's how we can use this formation to press and win the ball back. Should you ever get caught on the counter from a corner or just a counter in general, your main idea is to try and maintain defensive shape as best as you can. Track the runners and let your defenders get back. If you can do that and get your men behind the ball, you have 4 defenders and then your 3 centre mids. It actually is very difficult to kind of come through. Do take note at how the left wing and the right winger sit. We don't have them on comeback on defence or anything like that. If you do have wingers that have high defensive work rates, they will drop in a little bit deeper. But the key part here is that if we defend, and we defend in the 18-yard box as best as we can, look to go towards the wing when you do win that ball. Those guys are going to be free 9 times out of 10. They don't sit on the fullbacks. They sit in a very free area that unless the opponent manually presses and covers it, it's actually a free outlet. So we're going to see now how we're going to press and try and win the ball back here. Again, reminder about how the formation can press fairly well. Don't be afraid to press with one of your centre mids, the left mid or the right mid. Kante winning the ball there for us and being aggressive. Beckham picks the ball up. Now, I could look for a finesse shot here. In this particular game, I'd already gone for it a couple times, if I'm honest with you. So I wanted to run the byline instead, trying to be unpredictable. 1 minute I went for a finesse, 1 minute I'm going towards the byline. One of the key notes that I want you to look at here, and this is why the work rates are so crucial in this, look at how many men I have in the opponent's box. Yes, I do have only 1 centre defensive mid and 2 centre backs back. Reece James, our right back on balance, is up there. Theo Hernandez up there is available for a pass back should I want him. But I've got my striker, my right winger, my left centre mid, my right centre mid, along with my left winger, all inside the box. It's very easy to then find a pass to try and beat part of the bus because we just have so many men available. Unfortunately, in this particular example, I don't, but you can see how that can lead to you having many opportunities with those different players inside the box. So our last example for today is to just tell you that, if you can have a striker with high ability to obviously win the ball in the air, like Banza, for example, that can help with a false 9. Now, a false 9 normally tends to be played with someone who's maybe a little bit more nimble, smaller, who can link up well. I've been using Banza in that role, and he's kind of been filling it very well. So I just wanted to give you that kind of as an outlet, because having that ability to cross to someone like that, attack the ball, and then go for a header from very long range, just past the penalty spot, can work really, really well. So be particular about who you do pick in this role. Don't make it be someone too small, like say, I don't know, an Insigne, a Mertens. You do want someone that can hold their own with the best passing stats that you can get, because they are crucial to getting the right winger and the left winger involved. But you really can see, again, how this kind of allows us to attack in that final third. So then, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the 4-3-3 false 9 in-depth kind of walkthrough on how you guys can introduce it into your game. If you did, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. As always, it is greatly appreciated. If anyone does need the evidence, we do use this in the elite division. That's kind of where we've been and tested it for us as well, and has been working very, very effective. Thank you for watching. I'll catch all of you in the next video. Bye bye.